And now a poem from Stick Figure Dad. Man, getting on social media makes me feel dumb. The only way I'm gonna feel better is if someone passes me the rum. All this stupidity, I wish someone would kick me where I pee. But hey, at least I know when I shop for groceries, I don't have to show my ID.
And now, our feature presentation.
And now, being recorded in front of a live studio audience of nerds who actually remember when DC movies were good, it's the most random show on the internet. It's TBK Live.
Let's start a riot, dance in the fire. Let's take it higher, shine a little brighter. So what you waiting for, waiting for, waiting for? So what you waiting for, waiting for, waiting for? Everybody come on, everybody come on, everybody sing la 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 la.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most random show on the internet. Welcome to a brand new episode of TBK Live. My name is Richard, and joining me today is not Sharon. It's not Ashley. Joining me via tin can and string, because that's the only way you can do interviews nowadays. I'm being joined by TBKMagazine.com writer and all-around sexiest man alive. Ladies and gentlemen. Well, see, I'm buttering you up now. We are joined today by Brodie. What up, man?
What up, man? Like, I don't know about the sexiest man alive, but I can certainly make a case for the hairiest man alive.
No.
But even now, I can't do that because I looked in the mirror the other day and holy shit, I'm losing my hair.
I have to remove body hair occasionally because it gets so bad it mats up. This show started off strong, didn't it? Yes.
Oh man, just pubes at the top of the hour, pubes
everywhere.
Pube podcast from TBK.
So, what's your favorite kind of pube? Mine's the curly, and then ones that are curly, then ends up straight by the end of the day.
Ooh.
Don't know.
I like the Brillo pad because then it just itches my leg for me.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Mm-hmm.
Got to get some things out of the way before we get started. Hey, man, do you enjoy wine?
I do enjoy wine. I'm not like a connoisseur by any stretch of the imagination. Like, just give me a bottle of Pink Barefoot and I'm good to go. I'm not a red wine kind of guy, but I am a wine guy. I'm a wino.
So let me ask you this.
I mean, like, I'm not.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I know where you're going. Let me ask you this. How would you like to order wine from your house?
I would love to order wine from my house. I'd like to order anything from the house because
it's ordering from home, right? It's so much easier.
Yeah.
You don't even have to put on pants.
Mm-hmm.
Visit knockingpointwines.com and use TBK at checkout and get $20 off your first wine box. 4 times a year, you get wine delivered to your door. That's right. Wine created by celebrities. The wine right now is Dirtbag by Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa has his own wine?
Yeah, no. Knocking Point Wines, by the way, is owned by Stephen Amell.
Is there anything that guy can't do?
No joke. Love Stephen Amell. And you can see Stephen Amell at StarCast in Chicago. We're going to be there August 30th through September 2nd. Dude, it's promos. It's promos all the time. Knockingpointwines.com. Use the code TBK at checkout and get wine delivered to your house. $20 off your first box. All right. I had to get that out of the way, man. Got to make the monies. Got to make the monies. We're going to kick things off. I feel you and I are going to have a long discussion about this, and this is DC's streaming service. I don't like this.
You don't like it?
I don't, because I have seen how much it's going to cost to pre-order.
Yeah, the pre-order. Now, I have many issues with this, but I'd like to, before we get deep dived into this, I do want to put it on Front Street. I am a DC fan. I have an unabashed love for the DC movies. I might be the only one that has an unabashed love for the DC movies.
You and the blind guy down the road from us.
Like, I fully will admit Marvel is just killing it cinematically, but like my comics and this is just like nostalgia, because everything these days is driven by nostalgia. But like my first books were always DC Comics. Like I remember the first comic book I think I ever like owned on my own was The Death of Superman. It was the first comic book, and I remember
It's a great comic.
Is hands down one of the best written comics I think I've ever read. So I mean, I've got a love for DC Comics. So when they announced this DC Universe thing, at first they didn't really. I feel like they didn't come out the door with a lot of detail. So I was like curious.
I didn't even know it was a streaming service until someone told me later in the week.
Well, everything is going to. I mean, I feel like everything is going the way of streaming services lately. Like Disney's going to be coming out with their streaming service.
Disney's streaming service is going to be awesome. I'm just calling that now.
That's going to be awesome because you're going to get the Disney catalog. Plus, you're going to get all the Star Wars stuff. Plus, you're going to get all the Marvel stuff.
And all the Fox stuff. Yeah.
Now that Disney owns Fox, you're going to get like not just like the comic book. Like I know people are excited about X-Men and Fantastic Four coming home. But like you're going to get all the Fox properties, like Aliens, Die Hard, X-Files. Agent Scully's going to be a Disney princess now. Like how freaking awesome is that?
Does that make Marge Simpson a Disney princess too? Because I know that's in the deal.
Like that, it's like that thing I posted on Facebook. Dr. Frankenfurter
that
from
cracks
Rocky
me
Horror
up.
Picture Show is now a Disney princess.
Oh my
just
god!
Let that sit in for a minute.
I want that character in Disney so bad now because that would make a completely different experience.
Oh man. Oh man. Just get ready for a bunch of heads to explode. Let me tell you.
Well, I know if they get the rights to The Simpsons, they're building something for that show in Disney World. Like I know that's going to happen.
Oh, they have to. There's got to be like a whole like Springfield. Like I guarantee you they'll do like a promenade or something where it'll be like you get like Moe's Tavern and like you get the Simpsons house, and then they would be stupid not to. They would be stupid not to.
So let's discuss this. I know everything's going streaming. The cable's dying at this point. Hell
yeah, there really isn't much like in the way of like even like cable premium channels like HBO now
streaming
have
service
separate streaming apps, and like the killer show on HBO has got to be Game of Thrones right now. So like. But now that HBO has their like, oh, you don't have to pay for our premium channel. You could just pay like $7.99 or $9.99, whatever the rate is, and you can watch all the HBO stuff. Cable is going the way of the dinosaur, and you know what? It can be great and it cannot be great because like cable bills traditionally are very expensive. But now with all these streaming apps that are coming out with the DC Universe, with the Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, the Disney streaming, the CBS one they have where they, the new Star Trek
CBS All
show is
Access, yeah.
You start ordering all that stuff, and at first it's like super cheap because it's like, oh, it's only $7.99 a month. But then if everything goes streaming, you get like 10, maybe 12 streaming apps at like $9.99 a pop. That's about as much as some cable bills. So you're not really saving much money in the long run. But
you're getting stuff you want, though. Unlike cable, where it's there are days where you can't find something on. At least with the streaming services, you could find something all the time.
Very true, but the dangerous thing, at least I find myself running into, is like sometimes when I come home from work and it's like I got all that. I have them all. I have Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, HBO.
I have DirecTV now, by the way, and it's amazing.
Which one?
DirecTV Now. It's DirecTV, but streaming. It's all the channels and everything streaming.
Whew.
$25 a month.
Whew. We live in a golden age, an embarrassment of riches, if you will.
If you don't enjoy entertainment now, it's your own damn fault.
The downfall, one of the slight downfalls to this, is the fact that it's an embarrassment of riches. Like, it's great that you have access to everything that you could possibly want to watch whenever you want to watch it. But then, like I was saying, like, I find myself sometimes, like, I'll come home from work and I'm tired and I want to put something on Netflix. And I'll spend more time searching for something. Like, I like that. I'll watch that later, but I don't want to watch it right now. And then I'll keep flicking through everything. By the time I land on something, I get through like half an episode and I'm knocked out.
I was going to say, you don't go back to the same shows over and over and over, do you?
Right. And that's like a couple weeks ago, maybe about a month ago, I kept, scrolling through stuff to find. And then I said, you know what, I'm going to watch something I've already watched. So I started rewatching The Walking Dead because I'm a fan of the show.
You're
so
a
I started
braver man
watching,
than I am.
I started watching some of the older episodes to catch up on the new ones that I hadn't seen in a while. And halfway through, I was just like, my God, I've watched these so many times. It wasn't like I was even watching it because I was enjoying it. I was watching it because I felt obligated to. And
To have noise in the background almost?
Yeah. And I said, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. So what I did was I purged my entire Netflix queue of everything that I had already watched at least once. If I had seen it or watched it through, I deleted it and I kept everything that I hadn't seen yet. So I started watching new stuff.
You are forcing yourself out of a comfort zone to watch new stuff.
Because I just how do you know, it's like a process of discovery. There is so much crap out there, and I don't mean crap like it's bad, but
no, there's just a lot.
Such a glut of stuff out there to enjoy. I could keep watching Bob's Burgers over and over again. And I love that show, and I'll never stop enjoying watching Bob's Burgers. But I, at one point in my life, had to discover Bob's Burgers, right?
Right.
So how are you going to discover the next great thing without forcing yourself out of your comfort zone? Like, take, for example, earlier today, I'm sitting on the couch in my parents' house and I'm flicking through Netflix and I'm like do I want to watch something that I haven't seen, or I'm a little on the tired side? Do I just kind of want to put something on that I could zone out to? And then I stumbled across this show called Dark Tourist. And wow, it's only 8 episodes, like a documentary thing. And it's about the obsession with dark tourism, like going to places all over the world that are, the episode that I was just watching, they were in Japan, they did a trek through this abandoned nuclear fallout site, and then afterward they went to the Japanese suicide forest.
Oh, not creepy at all.
It's not at all. And it's very creepy and it's very dark, but it's interesting because I didn't know really, I love the macabre and the creepy stuff. I've been obsessed with horror movies from an early age. So had I not forced myself to watch something like that, I wouldn't have known
you wouldn't have found
that I'd love it. And now I do. So if I keep falling back on the Bob's Burgers and the Walking Dead and the 30 Rock and all that, and that's all great. But now, I see this thing and I'm watching, I'm like, all right, I'm really into this. And then Netflix will recommend, if you like this, watch this, or we recommend this. And then you just branch out more and more. And at that point, if you're going to sign up for all these streaming services, that's worth it. But if you're going to pay $120 for 12 different streaming services just to watch the same show,
jailbreak your Fire Stick.
12 different, streaming services.
Just jailbreak the Fire Stick.
Exactly.
So I got a question on Netflix stuff before we get back on DC, because we're off on a tangent. Have you watched Glow?
I have not. That is one of those shows that everyone, and I have this thing where people they rant and rave, you gotta watch this, you gotta watch this.
And then you're like, what if I hate it?
And it's not even necessarily that this is gonna suck, but it's if everyone is singing the praises of this thing, there's no way it can live up to that kind of hype. It's just not gonna happen. So that happened with Game of Thrones.
That's how I feel about The Walking Dead.
What's that?
That's how I feel about The Walking Dead.
I was not on board with it. I just everyone, not a single person had a single bad thing to say about it. I'm like, there's just no way. And then eventually I forced myself to sit down and watch a couple episodes. And before I know it, 3 weeks later, I had binged 6 seasons. It just happens like that.
You actually sat through 6 seasons of Game of Thrones?
Yeah, well, they're only 10 episodes. And they're an hour long, but it's just that riveting. You don't think you're going to like something. You think all right, there's no way it is going to be that good or live up to that much hype. And it ends up doing it. And it's great. I had that same experience with, say, Sons of Anarchy. Sons of Anarchy was another show. This just sounds like the stupidest show ever. But then
it was awesome. Yeah.
I sat down and watched it. I'm like, holy shit, this is like Shakespeare with biker gangs. It's awesome.
No, that's the best. I've never heard it explained that way. That's the best way to explain it. I love that show too, You know what got me
It
into
is.
that show was finding out that Peg Bundy was in it.
You know what? It's funny you said that. I didn't even recognize her as Peg Bundy right off the bat.
Oh, she's amazing.
Oh, she's great. But what hooked me eventually was like, holy shit, Hellboy's a biker dude. Like, it's always got to be the comic book thing. I always got to find the fucking nerdy reference. Like, Hellboy, this is like, in my mind, one thing I like to do with entertainment, I digest, and it's stupid, I know, but like, I like to play these like little games in my head. Like, I remember when we recorded the Christmas show way back in the day when Last Jedi came out, and I had said that I like watching Miracle on 34th Street because in my mind it plays out as a prequel to Jurassic Park because John Hammond failed as a mall Santa, so now he's going to go open a dangerous amusement park full of dinosaurs and shit, or the reverse. I can't remember which way I put it. This one, I'm watching Sons of Anarchy, and I'm like, damn, before he was Hellboy, he couldn't cut it as a biker. Spoilers, they kill him at one point, and then he comes back as Hellboy.
You have
So,
just
like-
linked everything.
So it's just like I play those like little nerdy games in my head, and it doesn't make me enjoy the show more or less. It just kind of shows you how much of a
you have
dork I am.
You have 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon, but with characters.
Yep.
That's crazy, man. That's awesome.
Yep.
Because I do the same thing. I just did it with The Office. We're launching a new show this week called "Are You Still Watching?" And it's like watching a show and binging it with the listeners. And with The Office, it's Karen who ends up becoming on, I can't think of her character's name, on Parks and Rec. But
That's right.
yeah, and I was like, oh, so she left under Mifflin because Jim broke up with her, changed her name, and moved to Indiana.
That's so awesome, and it's just fun to do stuff like that because you play it out in your head, and it's like,
If it makes
just-
sense too, it's even better.
what's up?
If it makes sense, it's even better.
Oh my god, it does. When it connects and like you play the little game in your head, and you're like, oh, this would be fun, but then you think about it and like, holy shit, this actually makes sense.
How many of you, when you're now doing to do this, is going to go to your local Hobby Lobby, get a cork board and a bunch of push pins, and look like that GIF of Charlie Day? And
I was just gonna say that GIF that always pops up. Like the first time I saw it, someone's like, all the Adam Sandler movies are interconnected. It's one giant universe, and then you just see Charlie Day like losing his mind.
That's exactly how I feel. DC streaming service. Let's get back to this. This is why this show is the most random show on the net.
I'm like I said, I'm on board. Like I'm a fan, and I hit this revelation a while ago. It's like it's easy to tear something down and to hate on it and pick it apart, and it can be fun sometimes. But the world has enough negativity. So if there's something that I don't like, I'm just like, yeah, I don't like it. That's cool. Move on. I'm on board with this because I feel like, I mean, there are negatives like the pricing scale.
Pre-order
I'm not on.
price is
That's
$75, right? Or is it $79?
No, it's 70. I think it's $74.99 like annually every year, or it's $7.99 a month. Now that $7.99 month is it's low. It's I think the lowest option of all these streaming services right now. Like
With the exception of
$7.99 a
maybe
month. I think Netflix
CBS
is
All
like-
Access. CBS All Access is like $4.99.
Oh, okay. Well, then there's that. I think that's like the one streaming service I don't have. But the $7.99 a month for the DC universe is a very attractive option, especially when you get what like there's that Titans show, which we're gonna get to in just a second. There's like the Doom Patrol
I haven't
comics,
seen that
which
yet.
I think is the comic series that Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance was a part of. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure I'll get ripped apart in the comments for it. The Swamp Thing original show, which is of all this original
I'm kind of
content,
intrigued for that.
That's like that. I'd be very interested to see. Like I'm a big gamer, and I play the Injustice 2 game a lot. And one of my favorite characters to play as is
That's a
Swamp
great
Thing
game.
because it's just so freaking ridiculous. So like there's the new content, but the boon for me behind the streaming service is the old content. Like you're going to get all of the old anime, like Batman the Animated Series, which is just like about the best cartoon ever. You get the Superman animated series. You get all the Justice League cartoons, and they're doing new seasons of Young Justice, which I came to late in the party, but oh my god, it's so good. Like, I'm not really a fan of the kiddie versions of superheroes that they kind of target to the younger audiences, but Young Justice is up there, man. Like,
I was gonna say, was that a shot at Teen Titans Go? Because they're talking about relaunching the original Teen Titans.
Mm-hmm.
And in animated form, not the crappy Titans trailer, but that's something that's being discussed.
Well, there was that Teen Titans Go to the Movies thing, I think, that came out last week. Like, there was like a Teen Titans animated movie I didn't even find out about until like a couple days ago. I didn't realize that was a thing. Teen Titans were never my scene. Like, of all the DC books I read back in the day,
Teen Titans wasn't your thing?
Teen Titans just wasn't my thing. Like, I was, Batman, Superman, Green Lantern. Green Lantern was big back in the day for me.
And by the
Martian
way, back
Manhunter.
in the day, it was like 94, just so you guys know. I'm just assuming anyway. I don't even know how old you are. There you go. I'm just...
well, how old do you think I am?
God, if I'm off, if I'm over, I sound like a dick. If I'm under, I'm making you look good, but yet I could still sound like a dick. 27?
No, way under. Thank you. I'm 33.
Oh, we're the same age. Why the fuck didn't I know this?
Because we're all children here at the TBK
That's
magazine.
true. That's very true.
So and you get access to like the movies. So like the old school Superman movies, which
those are great.
The first two are all good, and the last two, once you start bringing Richard Pryor on as a main villain, you might have problems.
But still, they're iconic enough to go, okay, I'm okay with this. And I know they're talking the old Batman movies, and I'm fine with that.
All the old Batman movies, all the old TV series, Batman 66.
Is that on there? Because I haven't seen that on a list yet.
I read somewhere, and maybe it's just a rumor, so don't quote it as gospel truth, but I heard Batman 66.
I know Wonder Woman is.
The Batman movie is the old Batman movie for sure is going to be there. Whether or not they bring the series,
because I don't know if they own it.
See, I didn't hear anything about the series. I just assumed, because the blanket statement is like all your favorite content. So when they started announcing like the movies and the TV series, I just assumed they would pay $7.99.
I'd pay $7.99 a month just to watch the old Batman TV show. Like, I wouldn't even care at that point.
Wonder Woman, the old Wonder Woman with Linda Carter,
that's a fantastic show
to watch that.
Season 1's not so good, but season 2 and 3 are fantastic.
But let's get to Titans. Let's get to Titans.
This was actually the start of last week's live. I did Awkward Batman, and all he said was, fuck Robin. So that's exactly how I feel about this trailer.
So it's a beautiful synergy.
Yeah.
The trailer itself is okay. It's very Zack Snyder, DCEU, very dark and serious, and post Nolan kind of serious superhero movies that the DC seems to be trading in lately. It was okay. It didn't wow me or anything, but I'm like, I'll watch it, until there was two moments in particular that really is like, all right, I'm out. Like, I haven't even seen a full episode, and I'm already out. One is Robin actually killing people. Like, Robin is not a killer. Batman isn't even really a killer. Now, when it comes to Frank Miller and like The Dark Knight Returns and Batman Year One and stuff, like, he's in The Dark Knight in particular, he's 60 years old and he's older and he's kind of stopped giving a fuck, so to speak. So he's a little bit more brutal, but even then he goes out of his way to not kill people. And in this trailer, Robin is point blank shooting dudes in the head. Like, what? This
is what happens when you were raised by a butler.
It's too bad if you watch Gotham, or if you've ever watched any Gotham, which is it's okay. It's not that bad.
It's very weird to me at times.
It's bizarre because a lot of these villains that they're, I get the concept. It's like, a Batman show with just the villains where Gordon is the star. But a lot of these villains that they have in the show didn't become these villains until after Batman became Batman.
Yeah, the timeline on that show is so messed up. It takes me out of it to a fault.
But some of the performances, like the guy who plays Jim Gordon, he's really good. I think he was on the OC back in the day. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Ben McKenzie, I think is his name.
And you're right, he was on the OC. Why the hell did you know that?
Dude.
Were you an OC fan?
I wasn't, but I was a Seth fan.
No, okay. Yeah.
And my friends would constantly back in the day compare me to Seth because I guess Seth was kind of a nerdy character on the show.
Gotcha. You're just saving face right now. I know what you're doing. It's cool.
I'm not going to say I don't like trashy TV. Like, I'll be the first one to admit, and make sure you're sitting down for this one.
It's Jersey Shore, isn't it?
Laguna Beach.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I was a big Laguna Beach fan back in the day. So, just, take my geek card away from me, if you will, but I was unabashedly
I can't do that. I watched A Shot of Love with Tia Tequila. I can't say much.
So, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, so like I can understand, like, going back to the Titans thing, I can understand them wanting to do like Elseworld stuff or like a different take. Like, there are so many comics, so many good runs of comics that are Elseworld tales. Like, I just read this comic called Superman Speeding Bullets, where if Clark Kent had landed in Gotham City instead of, Kansas, he becomes Batman. Like, he puts on the Batman suit, and Thomas and Martha Wayne raise him as Bruce Wayne, but he's still Superman. He's got all the Superman powers. And it's an interesting, kind of like, what if?
I can't even see that in my head. I think we need to tackle this. That's just not feasible.
Well, it isn't, but that's the fun of reading the Elseworld titles. It's like you're so familiar with the history of Superman that it blows your mind that he's anybody other than the big boy in blue. But it's interesting.
Even if he was to become does Martha die in this? Because I assume every Martha dies.
Well, yeah, his parents, Martha and Thomas get shot. Like, the traditional Batman, which is what was weird about it. It's like everything about what you know about Batman's origins, it holds up. Like, they do it the same. The difference is it's Clark Kent instead of Bruce Wayne. So it's like Superman in the Batman outfit.
I don't like this.
But what's kind of cool in the different sort of way is Superman actually straight up murders people dressed in the Batman outfit. Like, there are several panels in the book where he like hits them with the heat vision so much that he reduces them to like a pile of goo. And it's about him, like, it's a short book. It's about him, learning to become a good hero. But it was an interesting Elseworlds. There's another Superman where he ends up, instead of landing in Kansas, he lands in Russia. And it's Superman Red Sun, which is I think a fan kind of favorite book. And
I enjoy that one.
That was a good one. So, like, I'm all for Elseworlds tales if you do something interesting with the concept. But watching Robin snap necks and put bullets in people's brains, it's like, that just feels like a fundamental betrayal of the character. And then the number one thing that I stepped out.
So the F Batman was not it.
No, that's the number one thing.
Oh, that is? All right.
That fuck Batman thing was like, holy shit. I can understand if it was like, say, Jason Todd, because Jason Todd always kind of had an attitude problem, but he did eventually fall in line. Or if it was Damian Wayne, because there's precedence for Batman and Damian Wayne fighting each other. So I could see it if it were one of those two characters. But this is Richard Grayson, the original Robin, that is going to be portrayed in this Titans show.
Who is a circus star who got orphaned. Let's point that out. Not a cop, because he's a cop.
That's the other thing. Like, he's a trapeze artist. He isn't some fucking cop. Is this supposed to tie into Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is this the continuation of that?
Maybe. Your guess is as good as mine, because I understand that Joseph Gordon-Levitt, like, he's supposed to be Robin, and if that's the case, that'd be a weird kind of continuity, if you ask me.
Oh, it would be.
But No, it's just the dark grim tone, which is fine because I'm used to it with the DC movies. But Robin killing people, him saying like "fuck Batman," like some of the character designs, like Starfire's character design, just looks fucking awful.
Okay, good. I'm glad you brought this up. This is my big issue. It wasn't fuck Batman. It wasn't the fact that Dick Grayson is a cop and all that. It's Starfire. Because when I saw the trailer for the first time, I looked at it and went, Starfire looks like a streetwalker.
She looks like a whore. Like, I hate to say that, but she looks like
it's terribly designed. And Raven's costume's not that good either. Like, it's too horrible design. Like, they all don't fit together at this point, and I'm upset about it.
Yeah, like it's like I understand. Like, they're thinking behind the creation of the show is like, all right, Teen Titans is huge. People love Teen Titans, but let's do an adult version of Teen Titans.
But that's the reason we love Teen Titans. Is because it's not adult.
That's the whole appeal of the show. You take that appeal out of it, what do you got? Crap.
Another movie in or something else in the DC universe that's just leaving us a void. Because that's pretty much probably what this is going to be.
Yeah. And they're gonna it's gonna be a hit.
I don't think it will be.
You see, and that's the other thing with these streaming services. It's not like, the metrics by which you judge a cable TV show, you can say like, all right, 16 million viewers tuned in to this episode. But it's different. Like, how do you measure how many people are streaming it at any given moment? Because like, say, like the Orange is the New Black's new season just came out and I binge watched the shit out of it. But then, like, you get all these people probably binge watching these shows, but then you got other people who probably don't binge watch, and they're like, all right, I'll watch 2 episodes this week, 2 episodes next week, maybe 2 episodes a week after, like, they kind of space it out more. So how do you judge a success from the streaming services?
So I'll give you a little tidbit. When we're actually getting the numbers back on podcast, it's downloaded, how many people download it, or play it in a player. Also, a length of time listened. So I'm kind of thinking it's going to be that same principle where it's like, how long was the show watched? Was this episode watched? What's the average runtime per fan?
Mm-hmm.
And I figure it's probably all pretty close to the actual runtime.
That sounds about right. But yeah, like I'm gonna do it. Like, honestly, they got my money because I'm a DC fanboy. So like, they're gonna get it and
shut up and take my money.
Yeah, like the old school stuff sold me, and we hadn't discussed this yet. I'm going to drop this real quick. The comics. That's what really pushed me over the edge.
That's the reason I'm actually contemplating it.
They said it's going to be I don't think it's going to be the entire DC catalog. I think they're going to start out. I thought I read like somewhere between 2,000 to 3,000 issues at first, and I think they'll add them on periodically.
But it is starting with Action Comics 1.
Yes. And as much of a nerd as I am, and as all the DC comics I've read, I've never actually sat down and read Action Comics 1. Like, I've read Batman's first book, the Detective Comics.
Yeah.
I've read, like, first Justice League, all the first Marvel runs. I've never read Action Comics. Like, even, like, not to condone this type of behavior, but, like, I haven't even acquired it through less than legal means just to read it.
Have you actually seen a copy of the original anywhere?
I have. Wizard World last year when we went, there was a
Someone
booth.
had it?
Someone had a 9.8 grade copy of it. And I want you to guess. I want you to guess how much he was selling it for. Chances are you're not going to come anywhere close.
Probably 1.2 or $750,000 to 1.2.
It was $485,000.
Oh, that's actually less than that. That's actually not a bad value because I know how much it's worth.
It's more than I make in several decades. So
the only way I'm getting that kind of money is if I win the lottery.
I picked it up and I looked at it and I saw the cover and, like, no joke, like, you could tell it's an older book, which is why I think it's a 9.8 instead of a straight 10. Like, the color on the book, like, you could tell the age, but, like, there was no rips in the crease. Like, there was, like, it looked like a beautiful like it just got printed yesterday for the first time.
I don't know if I've ever asked you this. We usually have a lot of comic book creators on the show, and I've got an interview coming up next week with a comic book, independent comic book creator. But there is something that actually has become one of the big questions of, do you actually enjoy the digital, or would you rather have the physical copy?
You see, I like both. I like the digital because it's just easy. It's just, I don't always, now that I have a child and like between raising the baby and working, I don't always have time to escape over to a comic book store. And when I go to a comic book store, I don't want to just be in and out. I want to sit there. I want to kind of just soak it in. I want to look at the collectibles. I want to see the new books. I want to talk with the guy that works there. Like, I want to spend some time there. So digital is easy because it gets the comics to me faster. So like, I have a subscription to Marvel Unlimited,
which is awesome.
And oh god, it's so awesome. I've caught up on so many books that I've wanted to read. I just finished reading this one called Thor. I think it's called God Butcher or God Killer, something to that effect, where it's like three different Thors over the course of 3 different decades or 3 different periods of time have to fight this God Killer. And
nice.
It's such a beautiful book. The artwork is awesome. So the digital aspect of it is great because you still get the beauty of the writing. You still get to see the high res, artwork, depending on what device you're reading it on. So it's awesome and it's convenient. But sometimes there's nothing beats just sitting there with a book in your hand and just like, not to sound weird or creepy, but the smell of the paper.
Nope, that's
like
weird.
You open
no, I'm kidding. That's no.
You open like an old
the old ones.
Ago.
Yeah, the old ones, not the new ones, because the new ones have that shiny, glossy crap on it. But
right, but
the
like
old
I
ones,
smell the old paper. Like I bought a Superman book. Oh god. After they did the Death of Superman, they did a run called the Reign of the Supermen, and I had all those too back in the day, and I recently bought the Reign of the Superman, but I bought the old trade, not the trades, but the old single issues, because everything is trade paperback now. So I bought the old single issues and just opening them and just smelling that old paper smell. It's like, oh my god! Like I imagine that's what it's like doing like crack for the first time.
Now I've just got this mental image of you doing a line of comic book pages.
Just like roll up a Superman page and just snort it. So like I'm on board with both. Like I say, get the comics to the people any way you can, but you just can't beat a book sometimes. Like you just can't sit there and like you're still reading the same story, but just sitting there with the book in your hand and just the smell and the experience of it. Because when you're on your phone or your tablet or your computer reading the digital books, it's great. It looks good. But you're kind of like connected, and it's easier to get distracted from reading the book. Like if you're sitting there on your phone and you're reading a book and like a Facebook notification comes through or your email, like you get taken out of it. Like you could be like super into the story and then the notification comes on and you get taken out of it. With the book, you put the phone, you put the tablet down, and you're just in the moment with the book, and there ain't no notifications or anything to distract you. You just sit there and you read it and you just get sucked into the story. So there's arguments to be made for both, but I think I fall more on the line of actually having the actual book in my hand.
So let's go ahead and I'm going to ask you another comic book question, just because we're on a roll right now, and we're ending this show on a game this week. I created a brand new game just for if this works out. This might be the best game I've ever created. But,
I can't wait.
But do you prefer? And I'm gonna assume your answer is DC, but DC or Marvel's comics, like just from the actual story perspective, not movies, not TV, the actual comics themselves.
The comics themselves, I'm DC all the way.
See, I am too, but I will prefer Marvel all day long in the movie department.
That's easy. Marvel is crushing the movies. Like even, not the Fantastic Four movies and the X-Men movies notwithstanding, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, even their quote unquote lesser movies are still amazing. Like Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I was going to say, did you give a
shit.
crap about Ant-Man before these movies came out?
Nobody. Like Ant-Man was a wife beater in the comics. Like that was what people knew him for, beating up on his wife. But now Like, it's the same thing can be said about Iron Man. Like, no one gave a shit about Iron Man before that movie came out, and now Iron Man is like the Marvel character everyone loves.
No, there's two Marvel characters, hands down, that I went. If you would have told me before the Marvel Cinematic Universe started, those are the 2 most famous, and it's Spider-Man and Wolverine.
Oh, for sure.
And then after the movies came out, I don't know anymore.
Iron Man has to be the most popular of the Marvel characters. Like, because
I don't know, Thor's got to be up there too, because everybody thinks he's hot anyway. It's just, and
like, but there's like they took the Marvel Cinematic Universe cinematically. It's in the title. I didn't need to be redundant about it. But what they're doing is they're taking these characters, like they're second and third stringers, like Guardians of the Galaxy. No one even fucking knew.
Let me tell you
who the
something.
Guardians
I
of the
didn't
Galaxy
give
were.
a shit about that movie, and I didn't go see it in theater, the first one in theater, because I was like, I don't care. I don't give a shit. These characters mean nothing. And then I watched it. Like, a friend of mine let me borrow the DVD after it came out, and I went, I'm a fucking dumbass.
Right? Like, those are fourth string D grade characters that even like hardcore fans weren't aware of, and now they're like as popular, if not more so, than the X-Men and, like, say, the Fantastic Four.
But could it be who played them? And I'm not saying anything against the X-Men.
It absolutely is. Like, you know, if you had gotten anybody, like, casting is super, super integral to these roles. Like,
DC,
no
we're looking
one
at you.
forever will ever think of anyone other than Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
There's
from
never
this point forward.
If there ever is another Wolverine, it's going to be hard to actually see that.
You see, now I've got, like, you know, to quick aside, Tom Hardy Wolverine, what's up? Like, I'm on board with that.
I'm fine with it, but it's still not going to be like, I think people are going to revolt over it.
No one is ever going to be able to replace, like, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, or Robert Downey as Iron Man, or like Chris Evans as Captain America. Like, Chris Evans, let me just get on that for 2 seconds, and I promise we'll get back to DC.
Hey, you're
I
fine.
swear.
This conversation can be about anything. Trust me, it's about to be.
Chris Evans took, like, the squarest character, period. Like, Captain America is a Boy Scout. Like, he, in comically speaking, traditionally pre-MCU, was kind of a boring character.
I thought Captain America was a douche.
He was kind of a boring, like, you know, Jiminy Jilliker's do-gooder. But Chris Evans came to that part and just, like, there was that, like, you know, I'm going to do what's right. I'm a good guy. I'm not going to bend, blah, blah, blah. He's not like an anti-hero. He is a hero through and through. But his performance, the way he played that character, he imbued him with this, like, kind of gray, like the beautiful thing about Captain America, and, like, Captain America is the DC equivalent of Superman, in my opinion. They're both like the goody two shoes. They're both like the truth, justice, in the American way kind of hero. But what they're doing right with Captain America is they're not making him like an anti-hero. They're not making him bend his moral compass. What they're doing is they're making the world around him bend its moral compass. Like the Winter Soldier movie, which to this day is my favorite of all the MCU movies. Hands down.
I don't know if I can argue with you. I don't know if I can argue that. The only other one that I enjoyed that much was Guardians 1 and the first Avengers.
Yeah. I would go Cap, Ant-Man for personal reasons.
Ant-Man was awesome. The first Ant-Man was so good.
But what they did with that Captain America character, instead of making him, like, you know, be like the kind of anti-hero, kind of cool bad boy, they made him the Captain America from the comics. The Chris Evans character is very much the Captain America from the books, but they took the world around him and they put a good man in a not so great time. And watching him react to that, because, like, his whole life he spent in service of the army and doing the right thing, and then watching him witness all the greed and the corruption and all the badness, but he still stood his ground as this good man. They're crushing it with that character.
It also helps that they've got this goody two-shoe character playing off Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark character.
Oh my God. Watching the two of them, like, that Civil War movie was so great. For, you know, like, all the comic book stuff was great, all the action, the special effects, but watching the two of them just act off one each other, like, is like the best special effect in the entire movie.
That's one of the reasons. I'll tell you something about Infinity War that I expected, and I was proven wrong again. Kind of like, okay, another one I didn't know. I didn't know anything about Black Panther, and again, the movie proved me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But Infinity War, I was like, there's so many personalities going to be on the screen. There is no way this is going to work.
Oh, it worked. Watching the two Sherlocks fucking bicker, like watching Benedict call Robert Downey a douchebag, like, I was just melting in my seat.
I am praying to whatever God I can pray to at this point, that if they do not put in the line, no shit Sherlock in the next movie, I'm going to be thoroughly sad.
They have to at this point.
It has to be between the two of them.
In this one.
It has to be between the two of them, and I want one of them to say, well, no shit, Sherlock.
But to go back to your original point, you're absolutely right. Casting the right people in the right roles,
it changes everything.
Wonders. It means everything. Like, and Marvel hasn't always done that. Like,
oh no, look at the first Fantastic
in,
Four movie. Or yeah, that works too.
The Edward Norton Hulk movie, like that's a good movie, and he was good as the Hulk. But I just don't see him, like, looking back on it now. And I don't know if it's just because Mark Ruffalo is crushing it. I don't see him really interacting with everybody in the way, like, that would be net. Like, he's good in that role, in that singular role. And if they just kept doing Hulk movies separate from the MCU, I could see him continuing to do well. But coming together with Robert and Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth and all the other actors, I don't see. He doesn't seem like a team player.
Here's the thing about the Hulk, in my opinion, and I might be wrong. It's whatever. But I never see the Hulk as a leading movie character because I don't think there's just enough there. Like,
you know, there is some good stuff, source material for them to play off of, like World War Hulk, which you got a little bit of in Thor Ragnarok, like a very small taste.
Or you got a little bit of Planet Hulk as well.
Planet Hulk is another good one. So there are good storylines that feature him as the lead character, but I think you're right in the sense when they brought him back into the MCU and instead of giving him his own movies, which they can't do for legal reasons because I think Universal owns the rights to the Hulk films. If they wanted to do a solo Hulk film, they'd have to pay Universal, kind of like the deal they did with Sony and Spider-Man. So they haven't done any Hulk solo movies for like legal reasons, but I think he's better served as drop him in Avengers or put him in with Thor, like him and Thor in that movie. Oh, that was so
They were
sweet.
perfect. That's a huge thing with Hulk because if you would take the Planet Hulk storyline and then combine it over, say, 15 episodes of a TV series, it'd work perfectly.
It would be awesome. But cinematically speaking,
it doesn't work.
That's such an epic story. You can't tell that over 2 hours.
Well, it's like the original TV series, and yeah, it's cheesy as crap, and anybody who's seen it knows. But there's a reason we still talk about it because it actually worked where the Hulk movies don't.
Right. The Ang Lee Hulk movie for sure didn't work.
Was that the
Incredible
Spacey?
Hulk?
No. Yes. Who was the first Hulk?
Eric Bana.
No, in the movies.
Yeah, the Ang Lee 2003 Hulk was Eric Bana.
I don't even remember his name. What's that tell you?
Oh God, what else has he been in? He was the villain in the Star Trek reboot, the very first Star Trek reboot.
By the way, that's really good. I will say that.
He was in Steven Spielberg movie Munich about the Olympic bombings.
So this guy's been in a lot of stuff. I just won't never remember it.
He's a good actor. When he was in the Hulk movie, he was a pretty boy. Like he was built, he was ripped to shreds. Like the Hulk is the one that's ripped to shreds. Bruce Banner is kind of like a nerd type. So that of everything that was wrong with that movie, that was one of them.
That's why Mark Ruffalo is perfect.
Oh God, he's such a nerd. It's great.
Because him and Stark also play off each other really well.
Yeah. Then that's the beauty of the MCU. All these characters play off each other so well. And then you get to a movie like Justice League.
Oh,
taking it back to DC.
Oh, God.
I love Justice League. Again, I love the DCEU movies. I really do. I will defend them till the day I die. But they don't really play well off of each other. Like they're there and they're acting out the script.
That's a casting
doing
choice.
All of it.
That has to be fully casting choice and maybe some writing. Because I mean, honestly, I didn't care for let's go with Batman versus Superman. Let's start there.
Okay.
Because I thought that movie should have been amazing. And if you take the first 45 minutes out of that movie, the scene and wherever it is and all of that, and you get to the first fight scene and then Wonder Woman showing up, that movie's fantastic. Just do that.
Yeah, I mean, if I were, I'm not the head of a studio, but if it were up to me, I think they should have done another Superman movie and then done a solo Batman movie and then done Batman v Superman. But that's just my opinion. I like Batman v Superman as is. I mean, I would cut out like some things, like I cut out the Martha thing, but you know what, even then, like everyone likes to point to like the Martha thing, like Martha as something to make fun of, but it kind of makes sense. I'm willing to forgive it. I don't like it, but I forgive it.
If I ever see a DC woman named Martha, I already know they're dying, though. I mean, that's all there is to it.
It's kind of like the red shirts on Star Trek. You see someone in a red shirt, they're going down.
If it's a red shirted Martha, completely just double down. Just end it now. The thing with Wonder Woman's great. I will tell you now, I think the best DC movie so far is Wonder Woman.
Oh, that's like saying like I love to breathe.
Yeah, they got that one right. But that's also because I think they picked the right person, they picked the right cast, they picked the right director, they picked the right everything.
That movie was just perfect from top to bottom. They made all the right decisions. You're exactly right.
And still to this day, when I watch the scene of Wonder Woman running across the battlefield, I get chills every single time.
The combination of the cinematography, the dramatic music, the slow-mo effects, like that is probably the single best scene in all of DC movies, period. And I'm not just talking the DCEU. I'm talking any DCEU movie or any DC movie.
I actually think I might have said on this show that might have been my favorite moment in any comic book movie.
I still think my favorite comic book moment is at the end of the first Avengers when you see the team group together for the first time and the camera's kind of swirling around and Iron Man drops.
That's pretty awesome.
Iron Man and Kit. That to me is my favorite, but this comes close because that just gave you chills. And like I understand that that's a very kind of like it's a rallying cry for women. Like, women can be strong and sexy. Like they don't just have to be sexy. They can be strong and smart and important and just as like they can be just as much the hero as the boys can, if not even more so.
And that's where Marvel fails. I am going to 100% say this, and I know they're doing Captain Marvel, and I hope this works because everything they've touched has turned to gold. But up until now, Marvel has failed in doing that. Yeah,
the things that they've failed at, like their female characters. Agreed.
I like the Wasp, and I like
the Wasp.
I like Black Widow, but
she's the inverse of the Hulk. Whereas they're both side characters in the movies. It services the Hulk, not so much the Black Widow. She's not really a fully fleshed out character. She's just a character that's informed by the movie that she's in.
Because I really don't know if I ever want to see a Black Widow movie.
Well, they're making it.
I know.
It's confirmed.
But I just don't know if I want to see it because it's kind of like the Hulk character where I'm like, can this character carry a full movie?
If like I can see a world where they do like a Cold War spy thriller and they're training her, but I've never been on board with a solo movie, and it has nothing to do with the fact that she's a woman. It has everything to do with the fact that the Black Widow character, even in the comics, is just not, I feel, a strong enough character to support a whole franchise.
Well, see, what I'm comparing it to is, did you ever watch the show Alias?
I don't really have any strong memories of it. I know that I did.
It had Jennifer Garner.
Yeah, I remember it.
It's that's kind of how I feel about Black Widow. If you were to do a television series, again, same principle of that character, it would work. A 2-hour movie, you're gonna
not so much.
You're gonna hit a lot of lulls, and a lot of people are gonna get bored really fast.
Agreed.
But Marvel, everything Marvel touches turns to gold, so I'm probably wrong. But Scarlett Johansson's also kind of more of a serious actress too.
Yeah, her movies where she's a great actress. Like I love Scarlett. Like she's obviously a very beautiful woman. Like there's no dancing around that, but she's some of the movies that she's been in outside of the MCU are dynamite. Like I remember the very first article I ever wrote for TBK was a review for Lucy. And it was, you put it up as a his versus her, I think, opinion. I think.
Yeah, because I think I had someone
correctly.
else write about it too.
Right. You had them. I think they wrote the more favorable review and I wrote the more negative review. And the years since, I've softened on the movie a little bit.
Oh, this is your whole Doctor Who thing all over again, isn't it?
It is. I've noticed a lot of the stuff that I used to shit on or not like, I've started like finding things that I like about. And one of the things I've come around to on Lucy is she's very good in the movie. It's not her best performance, but she's very good. She's one of the very few good things about it, but she's very good at it. What else is she? I'm blanking. Under the Skin, which is a weird fucking movie. She's good in that.
A lot of her movies are weird though too.
They are, but she's a very great actress. So I'm sure when the movie comes out, if there's anything wrong with it, it's not going to be her performance. It's just going to be the kid. And then if they bring in other Marvel characters, that's going
to be the strong point right there.
Yeah, it's going to upset so many people. Like, she's a woman. Why can't she be why do these guys have to be in here? Like, she's a strong, like, it has nothing to do with her femininity. It has everything to do with the fact that she's just not a very well-defined character enough to support her own movie. And what's fucked up about that is she's been in and out of the MCU for as long as the MCU has existed.
Yeah, she's been around since almost the beginning.
She should be a well-defined character by this point.
Well, I was going to say, could you actually put her in a movie with possibly Hawkeye?
You know what? It's so funny you say that because I was just talking to my wife the other day. I'm like, you know what? I would buy a Black Widow movie if it was about Black Widow and Hawkeye in Budapest.
That would be fun.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember that throwaway? Like, just like Budapest all over again. You and I remember it, Budapest, very different. Like, I want to see that movie. If they do that as the Black Widow movie, I'm so on board with that because of all the like little things and the little cliffhangers they leave dangling, I want that movie.
Because if they're going to do it, they're going to, and I will say this is something Marvel does. It's never really fully on one character in a movie.
No.
There's always
right.
a secondary. And like with Thor, it's the Hulk now. So
the only character really that they have that really gets their own, like kind of is the only hero in their movie is Iron Man.
Yeah. Which I figure Iron Man movies are done.
You got War Machine introduced in Iron Man. Black Widow was introduced, but like in terms of the main heroes, he really populates his own movie. Like even Captain America, his third movie had every Avenger in it except for Thor and Hulk.
It's crazy, man. I think the thing with DC though, and back to that, is with Wonder Woman. I'll be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw the Wonder Woman trailer for the first time, I went, "This is it. This is the movie they need."
Mm-hmm.
But when I saw, go ahead.
No, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
please do, and I most likely am. But I remember you writing up a write-up for the trailer when the trailer first dropped.
Was it me or was it someone else?
You.
I don't remember writing up.
And
did I say it was going to suck?
You did. You did.
Oh my god, I'm looking this up. I'm actually on the website. Oh god. Oh no, the first trailer. Okay, let me explain the first trailer and how I felt about it. The teaser trailer is the one that we're talking about. The teaser trailer looked terrible. Okay. The actual trailer made me go, okay, this is awesome. You still there?
There's another thing that I don't.
You there?
Hello?
Yeah, there we go. All right, you're good.
Okay. That's another thing I don't like about like movie culture lately is like teasers for teasers.
Oh god, I hate teasers.
You get the teaser for the teaser and then you watch the that, and it's like, God, this kind of sucks. Then when you get the full trailer, you're like, oh, okay. That's
what was
better.
one that I
Why
went?
do you need?
What was the last teaser trailer that came out that I went, this is going to be a shitty movie?
Oh God, I'm not sure.
It was before Comic-Con, and I went, oh, no, this is bad. No. Oh, crap. My mind is blanking right now. But that happened. Like, they released a teaser trailer that I just watched and went, I'm not watching this. We are having some audio difficulties. There you are.
Was it Aquaman?
Oh, it's Venom.
Oh man, don't get me started on Venom right now. Don't get me started on Venom.
The trailer's okay. The new one's
Hello?
okay. Oh, there you are. You're here. Can you hear me?
Okay, cool. Yeah, I can hear you.
Modern technology, everybody. Hey. Yeah, no, the teaser trailer just upset me.
Yeah, because you got this movie called Venom, and he wasn't in the trailer.
No, he wasn't.
Like, no, the first one was like, what's going on?
It was rough. That first teaser trailer, when after I watched it, I was like, this is going to be the shittiest movie they've done.
But let's dovetail back into DC real quick. Since we're on the topic of trailers. Two big trailers out of Comic-Con this year. Shazam and Aquaman. Have you seen them yet?
I seen them. Number one, Shazam is a character that I don't care for personally.
Mm.
And then the trailer came out, and I'm going, I have to see this.
I'm on the same boat. Like, I read the Shazam books back in the day. I was a DC fanboy, like I said, but it was never a character that I super loved because I'm like, it's just Superman, but he can transform into a little kid whenever he wants. He's got the same basic power set as Superman does. But that trailer, and I was like, oh, Zachary Levi, I don't know, like Chuck was good, but I don't see him as a superhero. Like, that trailer dropped, and you know what that trailer does, and the Aquaman trailer 2 does on a similar level? It makes it look like the DCEU is actually starting to have fun.
That's been an issue. That's been a huge issue.
Like, I'm totally on board with I like the serious movies. Like, Batman is my favorite comic book character of all time. And, I like the super grim, dark movies. I'm not going to lie. But, man, that fucking Shazam movie, like, it took a character that I didn't like. And it really is like, I have to see this movie now.
Well,
this
even Wonder Woman had humor in it, where the others don't.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I will say this: another Aquaman's got my hopes up as well.
Dude, that trailer was so colorful. Like, that was another thing. Like, the DCU movies are very dark and very grayscale, and there's not a whole lot of color in that universe. Even in the Wonder Woman movie, like the Wonder Woman movie is awesome, but like,
I think that's going to change, though. I think with 84, that's going to change.
Oh, for sure. And Kristen Wiig as Cheetah in 84. Come on, genius!
You sold me when I saw that. Really quick, when I saw that casting, because I've been a Kristen Wiig fan ever since she was on the Joe Schmo show.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw that casting, I got super excited and went, when is it coming out? I'm ready now.
But with Aquaman, like, Aquaman looks like it doesn't look as like jokey fun as Shazam, but it still looks like a fun movie. And the first thing that I noticed right off the trailer was not Jason Momoa's insanely large pecs, but just how colorful that trailer looked. Like, they're just like, the reds were super bright and the greens, and it looked like a comic book come to life on screen.
This is another character, by the way, that I can't stand. I think Aquaman is one of the wussiest characters in the entire universe.
You see, I think there's this stigma against Aquaman because, like, oh, all he does is talk to fish. Like, they even made a joke about it in Justice League. But I again, if you deep dive into that character, if you read some of the books and some of the stories, like there's this DC animated movie, which is another arena in which they are just
they're killing that,
crushing it. There's this DC animated movie called Throne of Atlantis. and it's an Aquaman story. It's an Aquaman origin story, and it takes a character that you like have written off, like in much in the same way that I wrote off Shazam.
Yeah.
And it makes him so badass. Like that costume is still goofy, the orange shirt and the green pants. It's goofy, but it is so awesome.
But somehow it worked. And Jason Momoa. Okay, here's another thing too. Jason Momoa is the perfect casting for this.
Oh, he was like it's funny because you go to Justice League to see like Batman and Wonder Woman and Superman, but you leave Justice League being a fan of Ezra Miller as the Flash and Jason Momoa as Aquaman.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much now it's everyone but Batman and Superman that I'm enjoying.
Pretty much. But the Superman at the end of that movie was great.
Yeah.
Was super odd. Like that's the Superman I want to see. So now I'm excited.
With the exception of the CGI mustache.
I
had to say that.
I can't even.
You can't defend that. You know you can't defend that.
I can't. There's no defense for that. And I just watched the Mission Impossible movie that he's in, and he looks good with a mustache. So I'm like, why couldn't they just have Superman with a mustache? Like, come on. What's wrong with that? That would have been
Every
awesome.
time someone's gone for a while, they come back with a beard. Just let it work.
Exactly. Even in the Death of Superman book, when he first comes back to life, he's got like I don't think he has a full on beard, but he's got some scraggle. Like people have facial hair when they don't shave. Like I get it, he's an alien, but still,
he's an alien with human tendencies.
Very true. Very true. So DC, I think overall, save for like the missteps with the Titans show and the pricing of the DC universe, I really think it is time. It is DC's time. Like Marvel's crushing it. They're going to continue to crush it. No one expects otherwise. Now it's time for DC to be like, you know what? We're doing it. We're going full force. This is our time to shine. You know, with Aquaman looking great with that Shazam trailer, fucking Wonder Woman 84 is going to come out and totally kill it. Like DC, it's like I've always been a DC fan. And I've always been proud to be a DC fan, but now I feel like we're finally getting into it where DC is going to be able to stand toe to toe with Marvel. And I really truly feel.
And the one movie that kills that momentum dead in the water is going to be the two standalone Joker films. Calling it now.
The Joker film with anything with Jared Leto for that matter. Yes, agreed. I'm morbidly curious about the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie.
I want to know how DC's getting away with doing two of them.
Well, the Jared Leto version of the Joker is going to be within the context of the DC cinematic universe. It fits in. But the movie that they're making with Joaquin Phoenix is they've said is going to be like an Elseworlds movie. It's not going to be tied into the cinematic universe they've set up at all. It's just going to be kind of like a one and done kind of thing. Whether or not it's going to feature other DC characters, they haven't really said. But
they say that now, but you know, if it does well, you're getting a second one, and if it does well, you're going to get. Yeah.
Hey man, Joaquin Phoenix is an amazing actor. He's really good. I heard a rumor the other day that they're trying to get Robert De Niro in this Joker movie.
Good grief!
Fucking Martin Scorsese is producing. So, and he's.
I think I might be more intrigued to see this now than the Jared Leto one.
Like Martin Scorsese is one of the greatest living filmmakers, and if he's producing a Joker movie starring Joaquin Phoenix and Robert De Niro, like I'm on board. Like I think Joker's one of those characters like Black Widow and whoever else we were discussing that just like Hulk, like Black Widow
just can't carry a movie.
There's no need for him to do a solo movie, and if you're going to do a Joker solo movie, it's going to have to be an origin movie. But the best thing about the Joker, and I hate to hit on it because everybody hits on it, but Heath Ledger's Joker is timeless because there is no backstory. He's just there, and he's just fucking shit up. So, I mean, the origin aspect of it, I'm not excited about, but all the people involved in the movie, in terms of the making of the movie, have got me excited enough. Like, listen, show me a trailer, knock it out of the park. I'm on board.
Before we play a game, I feel like we got to talk about some Star Wars news. They announced the cast list for episode 9, not the movie title yet, but just the cast.
I am so happy that Mark Hamill's coming back. I really am.
So I guess the question here is Mark Hamill going to be doing what they did at the end of Return of the Jedi?
I think he'll be it'll be a Force ghost on some level.
Like,
I don't
yeah.
think it's just going to be like a one scene cameo or whatever. I think it'll be like kind of like, you know how Yoda sort of shadowed, like after Yoda died in Return of the Jedi,
Yeah.
he kind of just hung around, so to speak, kind of like assisting Luke or whatever. I think it'll be that kind of thing with Rey. Because, like, you know, obviously Kylo is full on dark side. There's no saving him. Rey is full on light side. So it's going to, you know, obviously it's going to culminate in a battle between the two of them. I think Hamill is going to be like a Force ghost. And I think he's going to, like, because at the end of that movie, he exuded a Jedi Force power I don't think we've really seen before. Now, I'm not super familiar with all the extended universe stuff, so
Which
I
is
could be
dead now,
wrong.
by the way. Which is completely dead because Disney just went away with it, threw it all away, and went, look, all the books and stuff, nope.
And you know what? The books are still there. You can still read them and enjoy them. But I think that's kind of a good thing because then you don't get bogged down with having to do fan service. And, like, you know, you don't have to answer all these, like, you know, obtuse questions and all this insane, like, backstory. Like, you could just do the movies and rid of the weight of all those years of canon.
So I never thought about this, but I wonder if that's kind of part of the reason why people hate these movies.
Because of the fact that there's no extended universe?
Well, because Disney got rid of all that, yeah. Because that means everything you have and you knew about Star Wars is no longer valid.
I think that was a smart, like, from a purely business standpoint.
Oh, from Disney point of view, that's a genius move.
It's a genius move because now the nerds are still going to show up. You have got us. You could do Star Wars, a Salacious Crumb story.
You could put out the Emoji Movie and put a Star Wars title on it, and people would go.
And the fans would flock. So whatever you do, you slap the Star Wars title on it, the fans will be there. But now that you've done away with all the unnecessary bloat of the extended universe, you get the general audience, like you get the people who are like who know of Star Wars but maybe aren't fans or haven't seen all the movies. They can go to a Star Wars movie and have fun and enjoy it. Maybe not on the same level as us, like hardcore nerds, but they still get to take this property and have their own interpretation of it and have fun with it in their own way and not be bogged down by, like, all right, now I got to go read the books and play these video games and watch these animated movies, like all that shit. They could just go to the movie, sit down, have fun, enjoy it or not enjoy it, and go on their merry way. And I mean, I'm okay with that. And maybe it's just because I'm not as steeped in the extended universe as some people are.
Man, there is some terrible things being done by Star Wars fans right now, though. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. What they did with the girl who played Rose, her name escapes me.
Kelly
right?
Marie Tran. Yep.
Oh, God, that broke my heart. This woman who's just, like, coming into her own, and her first big acting
and
role
super
is in,
nerdy, by the way. Super nerdy.
Is she?
Yeah.
That makes it even better. And she gets to the mecca of all nerds and gets to act in a Star Wars movie. And not only act, but be an integral part to the story. And all of, like, that would have been, oh my God, that's such an exciting time in that young woman's life. And then these fucking toxic ass Gamergate nerds go and ruin it. Like,
I was
get
so
over
mad.
yourselves, man. This is not the same Star Wars. This is a Star Wars for a new generation. The world is more inclusive now. There's more different cultures are being represented. And this isn't just, a property for 40-year-old overweight white boys who live in their parents' basement and play D&D on message boards and order Russian mail order brides.
For anybody who plays D&D on a message board, you guys need help because that's ridiculous.
It's crazy. And she just was, I felt bad for her because this is probably the best time of her life, and it got fucking ruined by these people who just don't know their own, asshole from a hole in the ground. Like,
and she's not the only one.
Man.
Let me just say this about this. I think we've all lost sight that Star Wars was geared towards a younger audience. That's where it's at.
Yeah, and the people who grew up with it never grew up.
Well, I mean, there's still constantly like these are the only 3 movies, and then the prequels came out, and another generation were like these are our movies, and now we've got these new trilogy, and then another generation's going to be like this is our set.
This isn't like this Star Wars isn't just beholden to one set of people. You're absolutely right. Like, I understand there's a very large contingent of people who don't like the prequels. But another piece, and actually one of my favorite pieces I've written for the website is when Force Awakens came out, and I wrote that In Defense of the Prequels article. Yeah. Like, those movies are good. They're not great. They're not all of them.
They're not standing like against the other Star Wars movies.
But you separate them from the original trilogy, and they're not bad. Like, Phantom Menace is a little boring. That's probably the hardest one.
See, I think the second one's the hardest. I think the second one's the hardest one to defend, with the exception of Yoda fighting.
I don't know, man. That scene when all the Jedis are fighting all the clone troopers, and fucking Jango Fett gets his head cut off by Mace Windu. Like,
can I make my argument for the first one?
Go for it.
Qui-Gon fucking Jinn.
Oh, come on. No question. I mean, that kind of ties back into what we were talking at the top of the show about coming up with these little fantasy kind of what if scenarios in your head. Like, I saw that and I'm thinking, like, so this is where Ra's al Ghul got all his skills to train Batman. Gotcha.
And cool. That's the skills that he used to save his daughter
in Taken. And then when he dies in Taken, he becomes Aslan from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Boom.
Done. 6 degrees of Liam Neeson. Even though I think that was only 3 or 4.
I think this is going to end up being a game. I think I'm going to work out the details here and try to figure this out.
Oh, that would be so awesome. That'd be a great game. You'd get.
I think it's going to be a board game.
Man.
I think I might actually design a board game for that because that'd just be too much fun.
And that's just one of the fun things about being a nerd and being in a particular fandom, whether it's MCU or Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or DC or whatever. Just like being able to talk about those what ifs, like. Some of the best times I had in my life were growing up with my fellow friends who were into comic books, and like we would be like, what would happen if Batman fought Superman? And now we're living in an age where we get to see that happen. And like, granted, that movie was a little polarizing, but it's fun to just talk about that stuff. To just be like, what would happen if like Aragorn from Lord of the Rings got into a sword fight with Qui-Gon Jinn? Like, what would happen if Jon Snow from Game of Thrones got into a fight with Iron Fist from Marvel? Like, it just like there's such disparate franchises. It's just the inclusiveness of it, being able to talk and have fun and come up with these what if scenarios, and then seeing them happen is so great. It's just we live in such a great time. It's such a great time to be alive in terms of being a nerd.
So much good stuff out there, man. So much good stuff. And yet, and the Star Wars fans ran off, Kelly Marie ran off Twitter and Instagram. They ran off Daisy Ridley off Instagram.
Oh my God. Like,
not to mention, I think the kid who portrayed Anakin in the original movie, they drove him to a drug addiction. I mean, like, it's ridiculous.
And that's on the unfortunate side of it. Like, we can talk all the live long while about this being a golden age of fandom, and it really is. But there's a dark side to that too. Like you said, with them running off Kelly Marie Tran, with them, giving Daisy Ridley shit, and Jake Lloyd was the kid who played Anakin from the first one. Him getting run off.
Well, not to mention,
it's a little funny. 6 degrees of separation. Jake Lloyd was the kid from Jingle All the Way.
Yep.
And Arnold. Oh God, I had it in my head and I lost it. So I'll come back.
Jingle All the Way was so good, though.
Oh, such a great movie. Yeah, I lost it. My bad. Forget it.
Oh, you're fine.
Edit this part out.
Oh no,
there was a 6 degrees I was going to make, and I totally.
Oh, this is all going up in one take. I hope you know that. I'm actually adding the intro to the game as we go along. Like when it's time, like I'm actually just going to play it and put it in.
This is all digital jazz, man. The best jazz is the free form. You just go with the flow.
I watched Freeform once. It's terrible. All right, so I think that pretty much wraps up the nerd conversations, man. I think it's time. I think it's time. I think it's game time. Hold on.
Let's do it. Hit me.
There it is.
Time to play the game.
Got to play Triple H's entrance music.
Time to play the game.
All right, it is game time. All right, we have a brand new game today. Brodie, you're the first man to try it.
Hit me with it, baby. What we got?
We have got a new game. Today's game is, and I think I need to come up with an intro for each game too, but today's game is Porned Up. And in Porned Up, yeah, in Porned Up, we are going to take an animated cartoon or television series and turn it into a porn synopsis.
And I have to guess what the series.
Yeah, you have to guess
is?
the cartoon from the porn.
Okay.
You will get 3 clues. If you get it right after the first clue, you get 3 points.
Okay.
If you get it right after the second clue, you get 2 points. You get it right after the third clue, you only get a point.
See, now, the thing that I worry about playing this game is if I exceed really well at it, are people going to think, God, does this guy have a porn addiction?
Or you enjoy cartoons more than the normal human being.
Very true. Very true.
So I'm going to start you off kind of easy.
Okay.
So 3 points, and you have to guess after each clue. So you get a guess after each clue. So you get 3 guesses. All right. Here we go. And if you get 8 points or more, you win a prize.
Ooh.
Check your PayPal later on today. Oh, no. No, technically, you're probably going to get a gift card when I see you.
Copy that. Let's do it.
It'll be used, and it won't have any money on it, but it's a gift card. Okay, so here we go.
It's still a gift.
Yes.
It's still a gift.
All right. I just threw my pen out of my hand. I got to get a different pen. There we go. All right. First clue. The main character loves to be tortured.
Oh, God. And this is an animated show?
Or movie.
Or movie.
Yeah.
Ah, God. And first character loves to be tortured. Nah, I ain't got nothing. Hit me with the second clue.
You're not even going to take a guess here?
It loves to be tortured. Crash Test Dummies?
No. Mm-hmm. No. The second clue is, and will be taken by a male.
Oh, God. I'm going to be bad at this, aren't I?
Oh, you'll get it out. No. Here's the thing. I made the first 2 clues really hard, and the last clue is like kind of easy.
This isn't the ambiguously gay duo, is it?
No, you're thinking way too hard. Okay.
All right. Hit me with the third clue then.
And her biggest kink is having her hair pulled.
Oh, is this Archer?
No, it is not. You have no points after a round. It is Rapunzel.
Damn it! I immediately went to that secretary from Archer who loves to get tortured and gets her hair pulled.
Yes.
God damn it.
Oh crap! I can't think of her name. Charlene.
Yes.
Love her. She's in the Hall of Hotties, by the way. Cheryl Tunt.
Oh.
There it is.
Yes.
Cheryl Tunt.
There we go.
All right. Second one
0
is up.
points.
0 points after round 1. And I mean that was a tougher porn than most. I feel like the next one's going to be hard. She loves a really good pearl necklace.
Marge Simpson.
No, but good guess. His cock is as hard as slate.
What?
His cock is as hard as slate.
Oh, the Flintstones.
You are correct.
Woo!
The third clue, by the way, is they love to make their bed rock.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. So what am I up to? 2 points right now?
You have 2 points so far.
All right. I'll take it.
Third porn. He has a foot fetish.
Foot fetish. Oh, God. I don't even know. Hit me with the second clue. That foot fetish. Jesus. Whew. This is harder than I thought it was going to be. God damn. All right. Hit me with the second clue. I got nothing.
And loves to do horizontal dances early in the afternoon.
Horizontal dances. Is that a sex thing? Yeah, well, this whole thing is a sex thing. It's
Yeah,
a porn game.
no, there's actually a sex joke in there and a clue.
Just a... Oh, God. I'm really bad at this. This is not This is not going to be entertaining at
Oh
all.
no, it's great for me. It's great for me because
Oh,
when
God.
I'm going to go back in and add buzzers.
Whew. Loves to. I got nothing, man. I can't even fathom. I guess.
Come on, you got to think of something.
What was the first clue again?
He has a foot fetish.
Foot fetish, and he loves. And this is a cartoon, movie, or TV show.
Yes.
Foot fetish.
You're going to hit yourself when you get the third clue.
Just give me with the third clue because I'm really drawing a blank right now.
I got to hit the buzzer for you. All right. And when they get it on, she likes to yell, "Bippity boppity do me."
Oh my God! What? Oh, my tongue! Fuck! Bippity boppity. Oh shit! I'm gonna hate myself for not getting this.
There's gonna be a lot. There's gonna be a lot of messages for you in this game. Like, I was yelling at the radio when you were playing the game.
Bippity boppity do me. Oh God!
If someone came out of right now and heard you yelling "Bippity boppity do me," I'm kind of intrigued to know what the reaction.
Well, I'm standing in my garage right now, and they're doing construction across the street, and there are dudes looking at me right now. So there's that. God, it's bippity boppity do me. God, is Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Nope, you're gonna punch yourself on this. I could give you a fourth clue, I guess, if you really wanted to go that route. But
Give me a fourth one, but no points. I won't take any points for it, just for my own satisfaction.
I'm gonna give you a non-born clue because I can't. I would have to come up with one. But it's a Disney princess.
Bippity boppity do me. I'm not really good with the bippity boppity.
Bippity boppity boo.
That's not Snow White, is it?
Nope, it's Cinderella.
Damn it, Lord! I'm oof. Jesus Christ, this is difficult. God damn. I'm really sweating right now.
This is my new favorite game. I'm gonna say it now. I cannot wait to do this with other TV shows. So, and that's gonna happen. We're gonna continue this. Are you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
At this rate, for you to win, you have to get both of these after the first clue.
Oh Lord, here we go. All right, let's do it.
She is the girl next door.
Josie and the Pussycats?
No, but that's a really good guess. Hold on, I gotta play the buzzer. He is an animal in the bedroom.
Animal in the bedroom. She is the girl next door.
No, this is not the lyrics to a Avril Lavigne song.
Oh my God, I'm property boot. No, that's the other.
You're
Jesus
still
Christ.
stuck on that one.
I'm so stressed out right now. He's God damn. And this is a cartoon.
I'll give you
Jesus.
this. It's a movie. I'll give you that. It's a movie.
It's a movie. Okay. He's a monster next door. Is this
She's the girl next door. He's an animal in the bedroom.
He's an animal in the bedroom. She's a girl next door. It's an animated movie.
Yep.
I'm not gonna win. So just hit me with the third clue.
You could even say their sex could be called bestiality.
This is Beauty and the Beast.
It is Beauty and the Beast.
You know what? And I was thinking that too, but I'm like, girl next door. God damn it. All right. Well, 3 points. I'll take 3 points. Give me the last one. Let me try and give some of my self-respect
I'm
back.
going to give you this. It is a TV show. It is an animated TV series. There you go.
So this one, okay, animated TV series. Got it.
Everyone loves having sex to the beat.
Everyone loves having sex to the beat. It's an animated TV show. This isn't Josie and the Pussycats, is it? I don't know why I keep obsessing over Josie and the Pussycats.
It is not Josie and the Pussycats. Clue 2. One character even uses a condiment in the bedroom.
Condiment in the bedroom. Everyone likes having sex to the beat. Condiment in the bedroom. It's not Bob's Burgers, is it?
It is not.
Oh, Jesus. All right, what's the final clue?
Nothing about this adult film is funny.
What?
The clue in
Nothing-
that is nothing in this adult film is funny.
Funny. It's funny.
Funnie.
Oh my.
You're gonna kick yourself in the dick.
Please just kick me in the dick, metaphorically speaking. What
Would
is
you
it?
like? I can give you another hint if you would like it.
Yeah, hit me with another hint. Wow.
It's not even gonna be a porn hint. I could do another one, but I don't think you'd get it from it. It's a Nicktoon.
Fun, a Nicktoon.
Do 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 do.
Is oh my god! It's not Rugrats.
No.
That's creepy. That's really creepy.
No,
I
it is
just said
not.
that.
I will not do that cartoon. I'm just going to tell everyone now. That is not happening.
Nicktoon. Ren and Stimpy.
It aired right before the Rugrats. It was one of the original 3.
Doug.
It's Doug.
Damn.
Doug Funny.
Wow. I'm gonna get so much hate mail.
You are.
You're gonna get so much hate mail for this. Holy shit.
Doug, the last one, and everyone loves having sex to the beat because the name of the band in Doug is The Beats.
Okay.
And
I gotcha.
one character loves using a condiment in the bedroom because Doug's obsessed with a woman by the name of Patty Mayonnaise.
Oh man, I'm the worst.
Oh, that was awesome. That was you got 2 points in our debut game.
Well, I thought I got 3 because didn't I get the Flintstones?
No, that
And
was
then
your,
there was another one.
no, that was your 2 points. Did you get another
Oh,
one?
okay. I thought I got a 3rd point, didn't I? No,
No,
maybe not.
No,
Maybe you're right.
you got that one. That was it.
Okay.
You got 2 points.
Well,
you don't win the gift
I'm
card.
terrible. I'm officially terrible.
Next time, I think the next game we play on this show is going to be also a new game because I'm working on all new games for shows.
Whew, man, that was fun, but goddamn, did I suck.
I told you when I was coming up with the game, I'm like, I think it's going to be tough enough to make you people go, oh crap.
People are definitely going to be like, why the fuck does this guy not know the answer?
I feel like I'm going to get a lot going. We knew it after Clue 2
Whew.
on a lot of those.
Whew, man, I'm like sweating. I'm going to need to take a nice cold shower after this.
Yeah, especially after watching that or thinking about that many animated porns.
Yeah. Whew. Reminds me of my hentai days. Don't ask. Don't ask.
Oh, we've
Don't
all been
ask.
there. We've all been there. Man, it
Whew.
is. It's. Are you all right?
Yeah, that was legitimately stressful because
do you need an
I'm
adult?
sitting here. I'm gonna need a cigarette after that one. Like I got fucked, but not in the pleasurable way.
Oh God. The only thing missing was Burt Reynolds. All right, so that's a Deliverance joke, kids. Every time I stop in a small town, I worry about that. I'm worried I'm going to hear banjos, and not Deliverance, but I'm just worried I'm going to hear banjos.
If you hear a banjo, pucker your asshole and run in the opposite direction.
Truth. All right, that's going to wrap up this edition of Live. I hope you enjoyed the game time there, Brodie. I will tell you.
I did. I had fun. As badly as I sucked, it was fun.
One of these days, I'm going to have to bring you on to play the game that no one else wants to play.
What's that? What game is that?
Where's Timmy's penis?
Ooh. I don't know if I want to be good at a game about knowing where Timmy's penis is.
It's if you win, you get a replica of Timmy's penis.
Oh, okay. Timmy!
So, man, it has been a blast having you on the show.
I love being on the show, and I know my writing output has been a little lax lately, but I have so much fun when we have these conversations.
Well, there's a reason. I mean, like, I feel like eventually you're going to end up on Cinecrap as well, which we've done 2 episodes of.
I want to actually.
Are you going to pitch me a movie? Are you pitching me a movie?
I want to do Suicide Squad.
That can be done. Okay, so here's the thing. I will go ahead and tell you the schedule for that. Next up is The Lion King.
Really?
Well, it won the best animated Disney movie, and we said we would rip it in Cinecrap.
Okay. So you got Lion King coming up. That'll be a good one.
Lion King's coming up. And then after that, to hype up StarCast, which we're going to be at, because I have to. We're going to watch the 2000 classic starring former WCW World Champion David Arquette, Ready to Rumble.
Oh, I loved that movie so much back in the day.
And then after that, we're going to add that to the list. In September, we will do Suicide Squad.
Oh, I have so much to say about that fucking movie. And I figured it'd be great since, I'm really good with comic books. It'd be a nice little tie-in. But, man, I've got so much to say about that fucking movie.
I liked that movie the first time I watched it, but after that, nope.
Your brain hurts trying to comprehend the plot.
I love everything. I will say this. I love everything with Harley, though. I like Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn.
Will Smith's Deadshot is charismatic as fuck, too. Like, there are
That's about the
few
only
good
two
things.
great things about that movie.
Yeah, I truly and honestly believe Suicide Squad is like the 2016 version of Manos Hands of Fate. Like, that is just a truly awful fucking movie.
Which, if you want to see the first episode of Cinecrap, it is involving Manos, the Hands of Fate. The second one...
I see what I did there.
Yeah.
I see what I did
And
there.
the second one actually involves Sharknado.
Sharknado.
We did the second one because last week was Shark Week.
That's a nice little, good little synergy there. I dig it.
Also, guys, coming up, if you haven't known, check out tbkradio.com. It's where all the shows are, just exclusive shows, and we're going to put shows there that you will not be able to find on the website, including Are You Still Watching? It is our binging of Netflix shows, and we're kicking it off with the first season of The Office.
Ooh, nice.
So the first 3 episodes of The Office, and then next week episodes 4, 5, and 6, and after that, we're going to do that because after you can watch 3 episodes, and that's when Netflix asks you, "Are you still watching?"
Ooh, I didn't think about that. You're so smart, Richard.
No, I'm not. That's why I'm getting paid the big dollar, just $1, oversized, handed to me by a stripper nurse. That's a throwback to The Office for anybody. Yeah.
You see, I was thinking of that Blink-182 album that had the stripper nurse on the cover of it.
Oh my god! I thought of you, by the way, while I was at Warped Tour.
Oh man, I was so. Now I know we're trying to close the show out, but
Yeah, well, it
I'm
doesn't
so
matter.
bummed that I didn't get to go to the Warped Tour this year because one of my new favorite bands, The Interrupters, is for anyone who's a fan of like ska punk music, and I know
They were not
a
in
lot of
St.
people at
Louis.
the site are. They were not on the list, and that bummed me out. But they were at the Chicago one here,
Oh,
and I got so upset because I had to miss it. I had work obligations. But they, not to use this as a shameless plug, but if you guys are fans of fun music, like check it out. They are fucking awesome. Like that album came out a couple weeks ago. That's literally
the whole album's
all I
on my
listen to in
playlist.
the car. To the point where my wife's like, I will take a bus to go grocery shopping so long as I don't have to hear you listen to that fucking album anymore.
One other thing that I think I want to touch with you before we go. Oh, a couple of things coming up before. We will be in Kansas City at Taylor Swift.
Ooh, I went to a country concert once.
It's not country.
Well, I know she's not country anymore.
You went to a country concert once?
Once I was trying to get, to know this girl that I had a big crush on, and I had to go to Shania Twain concert.
Shania Quay.
And good Lord.
That is her cover band.
Yeah, the Shania Quaints, because her music is just so quaint. I had to go. That's like one country concert I went to. So that's my little story about that.
And also in the month of September, if covering StarCast All In and Taylor Swift wasn't enough, on September the 14th, we will be at the pageant in St. Louis, Missouri, covering RuPaul's Drag Race Work the World Tour.
Ooh! Now, I've never watched RuPaul's Drag Race, but I hear it's a lot of fun.
Oh my god, that is a guilty pleasure show for me. Hey, that is a guilty pleasure show. I when that season's on, you bet your ass I'm in front of the television. It's actually one of the few shows that I actually watch when it airs.
You know what? There isn't a whole lot of TV that I watch as it airs, but like I'm gonna see. Like I was talking about earlier in the show, you just got to discover this stuff sometimes. So that is one that I'm gonna have to put down on the list and watch. And find it. At
It's
least try
fun.
and find it and watch
It's fun. I will tell you this. I will tell you someone to look up. Look up Bianca Del Rio, just for her
Bianca-
stand-up. Yeah.
Copy that. I'm all over it like white on rice.
because she is hilarious. She also has a movie on Netflix called Hurricane Bianca.
Hurricane Bianca. I'm gonna have to go look that up when I go back inside.
You will get judged if you watch it. I am going to tell you that. So, man, thank you.
I get judged every day being a DC fan. I'm used to it.
No, this is true. Well, that, and you did hate Doctor Who there for a while, and now you love it. And...
But I love it. I'm totally down. So I've redeemed myself in that respect.
Really quick, how do you feel about the new Doctor trailer?
I don't like the fact it seems like she has 4 companions now.
Yeah, she has a ton of companions, but I like her.
She looks awesome. Like, my favorite Doctor is Matt, and it looks like she's got a little bit of Matt's energy.
I feel
I'm
like
on
it's
board.
if Tennant and Smith had a baby. If the
It'd be
10th and
Jodie.
11th had a doctor or baby, it would be the third. It would be her, and I'm super stoked for her.
This is like, there aren't many TV shows out this year that I'm like, I gotta sit down and watch. This is like the one. I've got it locked in on the DVR.
I'll send
When
you
it does
something.
come up,
I'll send you
like,
something.
okay. I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited for it. And this
October
is
is
coming
when
from
that.
someone who used to hate Doctor Who.
Yeah,
So,
no, we had this argument in written form. At least we had an argument in written form.
Mm-hmm.
Man, thank you for joining us today, man, and I hope you enjoyed yourself.
I had so much fun. I love doing these podcasts. Just love nerding out with you, talking about the most random shit. Like, we were supposed to be talking about DC, and we spent like 30 minutes talking about Marvel.
It's what
So-
happens, but that's because Marvel's so good.
Yeah, it's so good. So good.
Guys, don't forget to check out our store, Shop TBK, tbkmagazine.com/shoptbk. And if you use the code ALLIN at checkout, you will get free shipping. We're going to pay the shipping for you.
What?
Yeah. All in at checkout. Get your shirts now. And that sale runs until September the 18th.
Good
Yeah.
stuff.
So I think that wraps up everything. So, man, if there's anything you would like to say to the people listening,
Just be nice to each other, man. We're all in the same boat. Love what you love. If you don't like it, you don't have to hate on it. Don't spoil it for everybody. We're all fans at the end of the day.
I thought you were getting ready to quote a Jerry Springer final thought.
And that's my final thought.
Yeah, there it is. That's going to wrap up this edition of Live. My name's Richard, and until next time, we are going to end this show like we do every episode, and that is with Torgo. So, Torgo, you know what to do, sir. Take us home tonight.
You cannot stay. The master would not approve.